in-laws up on the way. Give us a break again.
That's the way. Tim, would you like a motorhome for your in-laws?
Yeah,
Careful
sure.
how you answer this, pal. We'll come back and hopefully win $20,000 right after the news break.
Next on iNews, is your water safe to drink? The shock results from a new study. A huge earthquake hits off the coast of Mexico. The offensive odour drifting over the northern suburbs, and Darwin's celebration of everything Holden. We'll see you soon. Back to Eddie.
Claire Stibbard is in the hot seat. Come on, Claire, this is for $20,000. We want Claire to win, don't we? Yeah! Come on, Claire. Good luck.
Thank you.
$20,000 question. Which of these German cities has the biggest population? A, Hamburg, B, Munich, C, Berlin, D, Cologne. Which of these German cities has the biggest population?
I have no idea, Eddie. I've been to Berlin and to Munich. I don't know about the population, though.
What do you reckon?
I'm feeling Cologne for some reason. I don't know why.
25 seconds. Which of these German cities has the biggest population? Hamburg, Munich, Berlin, Cologne. 15.
It's going to be a guess. I'm going to lock in D, Cologne.
Lock it in?
Lock it in.
Why Cologne?
I have no idea, just a feeling.
You're going to kick yourself, aren't you? Because remember East and West Berlin came together?
Ah, sure.
Berlin is the answer. It has 3.2 million. Hamburg has got 1.7, Munich 1.2, and Cologne, last on this one, just under 1 million. Germany's population of over 80 million. But yeah, East and West Berlin coming together gives them 3.2 million. Clearly the biggest city in Germany. Sorry about that, Claire, but you win $1,000. See you next time in a Millionaire Hot Seat. Good night, everyone.
Tonight, testing proves Catherine's water supply has PFAS levels up to double the recommended limits. A furious Supreme Court judge lashes out at lawyers in the courtroom. A mega earthquake off the coast of Mexico triggers a tsunami. What's being done to fix the foul smell lingering over Darwin's northern suburbs? And Shady Camp's new $3 million boat ramp opens ahead of a bumper weekend.
This is 9 News with Jonathan Upton.
Good evening. One of the Territory's major water supplies remains under threat from toxic chemicals, with testing showing levels are significantly higher than national guidelines. Live now to Amy Colbert in Stewart Park. Amy, some concerning results.
Jono, testing out today shows chemicals in Catherine's water supply are as high as double the recommended levels. Now, that is the potentially toxic chemical PFAS, which is found in firefighting foam, and that has been used in the past at the town's Tyndall RAF base. Now, despite these high levels, the Territory's Chief Health Officer has told 9 News today the water is still considered safe.
I'd reassure that the community of Katherine that the water is actually being actively monitored and actively being managed as well by Power and Water. So no, the water is definitely safe to drink in Katherine.
Of course, Katherine remains on water restrictions as authorities work to eliminate the contaminated supply. The town's main water treatment plant is working at full capacity and a secondary plant is being built to assist with the problem. But for now, testing will continue extensively until those levels return to normal. Jono?
Amy, outstanding coverage as always. Thank you. Lawyers in the Konstantinos Kontonaris trial have been accused of playing games by the judge presiding over the case, who also today said he'd had enough. Justice Graham told the court he was disappointed by a question asked by the prosecution, as it had nothing to do with the case. It came after the defence had objected to the question. The jury was discharged early, the trial to resume on Monday. A new deal has saved Darwin's Rorke's Bar from closing its doors for good. A judge had decided the landlord could evict its tenant today. After monkey business, the former lessee of the building fell behind in rent. A financial agreement was reached and Rorke's management said it was positive about the road ahead. Mexico is tonight struggling to determine the damage from an enormous earthquake, the worst it has suffered in more than 30 years. At least 5 people are dead, including 2 children. The violent shaking that terrified much of the country reached a magnitude of 8.4, and it's already sparked a small tsunami.
It was midnight in Mexico City when the giant quake struck. Buildings shook violently, people fled into the streets from homes and nightclubs. Bridges swayed and the city held its breath.
Everything was shaking, I was praying.
The giant sprawling metropolis, one of the biggest cities in the world, has frail building controls in many areas, and there were fears apartment blocks would collapse. Some were feeling the violent tremor even as it unfolded live on their television sets. Adding to the anxiety, there were strange, unexplained waves of light moving across the city. The earthquake registered a massive 8.4, its epicentre right on the country's southern holiday coast, 1,000 kilometres from the capital. In resorts and towns there was an immediate tsunami warning, and neighbouring countries including Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica and Nicaragua were also on alert. Waves of nearly a metre have already been recorded.
We don't expect this tsunami to reach Australia, but there are certainly advisories out for islands in the Pacific, including French Polynesia, the Cook Islands.
Mexico is no stranger to big earthquakes. One of the most devastating was in 1985. 10,000 people were killed, more than 30,000 were injured, and 250,000 left homeless. Today's quake is the biggest to strike the country since that catastrophe.
This region is susceptible to earthquakes. It's of course a major plate boundary joining 2 tectonic plates, and this is where we expect to get these sorts of magnitude 8s and above earthquakes.
As Mexico enters a new day and reports come in from the southern coast and more remote areas, they will surely be hoping for the best, but fearing the worst. Mark Burrows, 9 News.
Catherine Foran joins us now with a look at today's weather. Catherine, dangerous fire conditions continue today.
That's right, Jono. Fire crews were kept busy, first responding to a wildfire at Darwin River. It was contained late this afternoon, but they're still fighting a blaze at Dundee Downs. It's not yet contained. Considerable resources are there, including 23 units and 5 helicopters. The concern with that blaze is that it's close to homes, but crews are working to bring that fire under control. Here in Darwin, it was warm but very dry. We woke to a beautiful morning, dropping to just 17 degrees. 35 our top, but thanks to that low humidity, it only felt like 28. It was unseasonably cool in the rural area this morning, 11 degrees there, which is 8 below average. The mercury then soared to 36, which was the hottest temperature recorded in the territory today. How's the all-important weekend looking? Jono, I'll have all the details later in the bulletin.
Catherine, thank you. The political week has ended with the Prime Minister in Samoa meeting our Pacific neighbours, while in Canberra the opposition's focus was squarely on Barnaby Joyce. But at least both sides came together today to take the vitriol out of the same-sex marriage vote.
A change of shirt, a change of scenery. Malcolm Turnbull in Samoa at the Pacific Islands Forum.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
A whirlwind 24 hours of handshakes.
Thank you very much.
Meetings, deal signings and class photos. Leaving Barnaby Joyce in charge at home.
Good morning.
There's a Barney over Barnaby sitting in cabinet, let alone being acting Prime Minister, goes on.
Looking forward to just keeping a steady ship, and that's what we'll do.
It's an embarrassment. The coalition say they're the Conservatives of Australian politics. They're the defenders of the Constitution. I don't even know if they've read it.
After pursuing Mr Joyce all week, Labor will switch to housing affordability and energy policy, but Malcolm Turnbull's already given him a new nickname.
Blackout Bill. Blackout Bill. Blackout Bill.
The two sides are working together to toughen campaign rules for the same-sex marriage postal vote, to limit false, misleading and hurtful advertising.
In saying that you're allowed to disagree, it shouldn't give licence to every bit of a vile, hurtful speech you can make.
Legislation will need to be rushed through next week.
You cannot expect your side of the argument to be respected
unless you respect the other side of the argument.
You don't want to put inappropriate limits on the freedom of political expression and the expression of opinions.
Lane Cathcart, 9 News.
Same-sex marriage advocates have clashed with those opposed during a passionate protest in Brisbane. The group gathered outside a church in a bid to disrupt an Australian Christian lobby meeting being held inside. Police were called in to break up the ugly scenes, with one protester claiming she was hit by a car. Having seen what's coming, almost 700,000 people in Florida are fleeing in the face of Hurricane Irma. One of the worst on record, the giant storm has carved its way through the Caribbean, causing 14 deaths, leaving hundreds injured and destroying thousands of homes.
They've been kicked, punched and torn apart. The pretty holiday islands left looking more like gigantic junk heaps.
This is our house.
And the people of these tiny nations and colonies are in a desperate way.
Persons were literally tying themselves to their roofs with ropes. It was 7 of us, and all we had to do was to pray and call for help.
Rescue teams are swamped by the devastation and the task of finding, then treating the injured.
I was frightened. I didn't know this was going to happen to me.
Help is slowly arriving. Too slowly, it's claimed, in places like St Martin, jointly owned by France and Holland. Britain is sending army and navy units, many of its old possessions badly damaged or about to be. The US territory of Puerto Rico was hammered, then drenched. Until heavy-duty help gets there, it's do-it-yourself, which can be dangerous work. It will take a long time for survivors to forget what they've been through.
And I would not want to see another hurricane like this again.
Among the tragedies, a daredevil 16-year-old surfer who pitted himself against the waves battering Barbados and drowned. Irma now continues its relentless path. This is what it looks like from space. Cuba is in the firing line, then the United States.
But it's heading right now, right directly into Florida.
If there's one weapon that southern Florida has right now against Hurricane Irma, it's time. And here in Miami, they're using every second of it to board up properties and reinforce windows in preparation for a direct hit.
Hundreds of thousands of people along Miami's South Beach have been evacuated, and now the Strip is near deserted. Some are choosing to stay, turning homes into bunkers.
And will you be here with someone or by yourself with your dog?
I'll be by myself with my dog.
Australians Helen and Graham Nusky are due on a Caribbean cruise on Wednesday. They've been evacuated away from the beach. They'll ride it out. Their holiday now looking dim.
We got a phone call, you've got to go, we can't have you. So we went in a little bit of panic mode. We've gone inland quite a few k's.
The Castro family isn't hanging around, loading 3 dogs and 3 kids in the car, taking off for Tennessee.
I don't know, I hope it's all still here. I don't want to start building again.
There are queues at airports, people hoping for a seat to anywhere. Petrol is running short. Tankers getting a police escort. In a city which has seen its fair share of monster storms, they know how to board up their homes and buy emergency supplies. Miami is braced. Irma is on her way. In Miami, Florida, Lizzie Pearl, 9 News.
For more than a year, families in the northern suburbs have been putting up with a foul smell lingering over their homes. Now they're joining the newly elected Lord Mayor to call for urgent action to fix the problem.
There's something in the air that's got northern suburbs residents holding their noses.
Actually come through the whole house. So, yeah. And it's like, you get a nice breeze here and it's just like, that wasn't a very nice smell.
It's not real nice, eh? You know, if you've got meals going on and that. Most mornings, it wafts over. Nauseous, mainly.
It's pretty bad.
Leanya Wastewater Treatment Plant is to blame. The bad smell is hanging over Muirhead, Anula, Lyons, Wanguri, Tiwi, Leanya, Malak and Wagaman.
Residents say the smell is particularly bad when it's windy. They say they've been putting up with it for over 3 years and they want someone to act right now.
It's a big issue. Something is not right there and Power Water has to fix it. I wrote to the CEO as early as April, but the smell has become worse and worse.
Over the last 10 days, the Environment Protection Authority has investigated over 30 complaints. And Director Peter Vassell says Power and Water needs to fix it,
requiring them to produce documents and plans on how they're dealing with the issue.
In a statement, Power and Water says the $15 million inlet project will include odour control. The project will wrap up next year, and the EPA insists Power and Water will be held to account.
We can also escalate the matter to a prosecution if we don't get satisfaction and action from Power and Water.
Isabel Mullen, 9 News.
Outside of city ramps, Shady Camp is one of the most popular places to launch boats in the Territory. Today, after months of work, the government unveiled the new ramp that's set to ease congestion and make launching safer.
It's the gateway to Sampan and Tommy Cut Creeks. Now, after a $3 million facelift, the upgraded Shady Camp boat ramp is ready for use.
We've got a great area here. It's been improved for that reason. We want to see more people launch their boats safely and use this facility.
When they come and see this facility, they're going to be blown away.
The 2-lane concrete and bitumen structure makes launching and retrieving safer, but still needs the top half of the tide and about 3.5 metres for access.
Beautiful turning circle right here down to the ramp, and you've got the side access as well when the water's up in the wet season.
More access means more anglers. Fisheries don't think that'll have a negative impact on fish stocks.
We are continually monitoring, and that's what our fisheries department does, continually monitoring the fishing stocks in all our waterways.
And I think everyone's a lot more conscious nowadays in recent years of the need to practice conservation in your fishing.
The world-renowned land-based barra fishing on the barrage won't be affected either.
I mean, I can just see an eddy forming right there with the water rushing over and barra being plucked from there.
The real test for the new Shady Camp boat ramp will come in 6 months when the runoff begins and traffic increases by 30%. And with multiple salties hanging around, including a resident 4-metre specimen, authorities are urging everyone to be croc-wise.
Always be croc-wise. As we see behind me, there's a couple of big lizards hanging around.
Henry Jones, 9 News.
George Calombaris is still facing the possibility of jail time for punching a teenage soccer fan at last year's A-League Grand Final. The apologetic celebrity chef thought he was being sentenced today for the assault, but instead he'll have to wait. A magistrate warning the courts take such crimes very seriously.
George Calombaris arrived at court for what he thought was Judgment Day, but when a magistrate deferred passing sentence over that bust-up at this year's A-League final, the soccer-mad celebrity chef dished out his own punishment.
I stand down as the #1 ticket holder of the Melbourne Victory, and as a true supporter, what I did was wrong and I need to pay the price. On top of that, I'm going to give myself a ban for the next 12 months from all A-League games.
Calombaris pleaded guilty to common assault after copping abuse from a 19-year-old Sydney FC supporter. He told police that the victim had called his mother a and then retaliated, calling the teenager a big-mouthed man, you dodgy and punching him in the stomach. Calombaris' lawyer told the court his client was 38 with the cleanest of records, but Magistrate David Price seemed far from impressed. He demanded a pre-sentence report and indicated that community service work or even jail time could be on the menu for the celebrity chef. And with such talk ringing in his ears, a remorseful cook got down on his knees.
I apologise to the gentleman that I approached. I shouldn't have did that. It was wrong. I also apologise to New South Wales Police. I'm sure they've got bigger fish to fry.
The MasterChef judge will be hoping for a decent review from the magistrate when the case goes back to court in 6 weeks. Damien Ryan, 9 News.
Glitz and glamour is coming to the Glitter Strip, with Confirmation TV's Night of Nights has a brand new home. Despite the Logies being seen as a waste of money by some, Queensland didn't hold back, snapping up the event in a multi-year deal.
Glitz, glamour and gas.
So why the I'm here?
Now coming to the Glitter Strip.
Why don't we rename it the Goldies?
Whoa. After 59 years in the South, next July, sequin-clad superstars will walk the Logies red carpet at Star Casino. A 4-year deal that was 2 in the making and signed when Victoria pulled the financial pin because the nation's biggest awards night was running at a loss.
You know, I don't think the Premier of Victoria is very happy at the moment, Daniel Andrews.
Neither was Gold Logie winner and Today Show host Carl Stefanovic, threatening to boycott the ceremony.
This is disgusting, and I'll be boycotting the Logies until they're back in Melbourne at Crown Casino.
I was very vocal about my dislike for the Logies moving from Melbourne.
Yes, I want to talk to you about that.
Yeah, you can talk to me.
Yes, but coming around to play MC in his home state.
Can I host it?
Well,
you want it to be a success.
For the Mayor, it's a chance to keep the spotlight on the southeast after the Commonwealth Games and use some celebrity spin.
I accept this award on behalf of the city of Gold Coast. To Gold Coasters, this hosting of this award is for you.
Just how much the ceremony will cost is confidential. We're assured it will bring tens of millions of dollars in publicity.
I know that we'll all make all the stars from Sydney and Melbourne that will be flying in feel very welcome.
In the news ahead, incredible time-lapse video of a wildfire that's now burned through 31,000 acres. The Territory fundraiser using muscle cars for a good cause. Plus, millions of older Australians not doing enough exercise. What you need to do to prevent chronic disease.
News.com.au. Live, fast and free. When the news breaks, see it first, read it first and watch it live. More video news than any other site. 9news.com.au. Live, fast and free.
I'm a bit offended as well, mate.
The Sunday that will shock the nation is here.
10,000 couples applied to be on this series of The Block and have the opportunity that you have right now. This is just pathetic. It's beyond rude. It's a slap in the face to everyone involved. In other words, you need to go hard or go home.
The explosive drama.
Now, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
That will grip you to the very last second.
You are off the block.
Sunday, 7 o'clock on 9.
Dining out in Palmerston? Try the Fork and Dagger Bar and Grill. Families love our weekend buffet brunch and you'll love our steaks. Breakfast, lunch and dinner every day at the Fork and Dagger Bar and Grill. Planning a conference, wedding or special event? You don't have to do it alone. Talk to one of our friendly event coordinators. Our large ballroom and small intimate event facilities are sure to impress you and your guests. Ridges Palmerston, a great place to meet.
Toyotathon annual clearance is on right now at Bridge Toyota with unbeatable prices across the range, like Yaris Ascent Hatch Manual from $15,990 drive away and Hilux 4x2 petrol workmate for $23,990 drive away. Or receive a $500 bonus fuel voucher across the entire Kluger, Corolla or RAV4 range. Head to Bridge Toyota today as the Toyotathon annual clearance ends soon.
Bridge Toyota, your number one.
Transform your bedroom storage into an organised oasis with Elfa Shelving Solutions. The versatile Elfa system provides easy access for all your storage needs. Come and see the great range on display at Form Function NT, Bishop Street, Woolner.
Better are your local television experts. So come in store today and check out the latest in TV technology, including OLED, Ultra HD and Super UHD. Plus we can also deliver and install your new TV. Better deals every day. That's better.
Anaconda's big brand sale is on now. Save 40 to 50% off all bikes by Fluid, plus 20 to 40% off all kayaks and accessories by Seek, Lifetime and more. Exclusions apply.
The terrifying speed of a wildfire in the US state of Oregon has been captured in an incredible time-lapse video. A cloud of smoke quickly turns to flame before an orange inferno swallows the Eagle Creek National Park. A 15-year-old boy is suspected of starting the blaze by lighting illegal fireworks. Commuters on a busy street in Belgium watched in horror as a sinkhole opened up. The hole, caused by a leak in underground water pipes, sparked panic when buses and cars heading for the road had to be turned back. 200 people have been evacuated, and none of them injured. The Pope has used a 5-day visit to Colombia to bring a message of peace to a country that has suffered from decades of conflict. Greeted by a choir, orchestra and more than 1 million people, Pope Francis preached forgiveness and love during a mass in the city's capital. More than 60,000 Australians are living with blood cancer, and for many Territorians it usually means having to travel interstate for treatment. Julie and Alan Stalker have experienced that firsthand and are now taking part in the Aussie Muscle Car Run for the 3rd time to raise money for the Leukaemia Foundation.
It's an Australian icon with a distinctive roar. And for Alan and Julie Stalker, their 1972 Holden Torana holds a special place in their hearts.
We had that, when our babies were born, and we had our car seats in there for them, and so it was significant in that it was the family car. And now we treat it with a bit more respect now, and it's become a passion.
A passion that's taken them across the country with many other like-minded people for the Aussie Muscle Car Run. 2017 will be their 3rd.
I first thought it might be a bit blokey, but there are ladies that come along as well, and there's ladies teams this year as well, and everyone's just really lovely and welcoming, and we have a great time.
But it's more than showing off their cars to the rest of Australia. The event raises vital funds for the Leukaemia Foundation, and for the Stalkers, that's the important part.
In late 2013, Julie was diagnosed with breast cancer. Had to stop for a sec. We went through the process of chemo and radiation and that sort of thing. We wanted to give something back.
This Sunday is their main fundraising event, Darwin's 2017 All Holden Day at Fred's Pass Reserve. The couple are hoping to beat their previous year's figures. Over 3 years, they've raised $50,000.
Because there's so many Territorians use the facility down in Adelaide, we decided to raise money for that cause.
The event kicks off at 10 a.m. on Sunday. Kathleen Gazzola, 9 News.
A little perplexed at his final night in the chair, Henry Jones joins us now with sport. And Henry, the NRL finals get underway tonight.
Jono, an epic matchup to get us underway, and in the absence of Darius Boyd, and a strong record in Sydney against the Broncos, the Roosters will start as favourites. Both Mitchell Pearce and Benji Marshall loom as impact players. The winner of tonight's matchup earns a week off, while the other fights for final survival next week. Catch all of the action live and free on 9 straight after the news. And I'll be back with more as the Northern Sharks hunt for back-to-back flags in the NRLNT. And Steve Smith puts his batsmen on notice ahead of the Ashes series. He slammed the team's middle order collapse as not good enough. Jono, those stories and more coming up very shortly.
Great to see you in the red, white and blue in support of the Roosters tonight, Henry. Thank you. See you soon. Still ahead, an extravagant fireworks display as North Koreans celebrate their largest missile test to date. Prince William jokes about little George's first day of school. And Casuarina unveils its latest weapon to win your shopping dollar.
Footy's best are ready to line up the finals. Listen to this roar now. The biggest series ever kicks off tonight with a Roosters-Broncos blockbuster. Unbelievable! Tomorrow, an epic doubleheader. You can feel it coming. Storm Eels. Then at sudden death footy, Seagulls-Panthers. My goodness! And Sunday, it's do or die to the Sharks and Cowboys. A massive weekend of finals footy, live and free on 9.
Get powerful deals tomorrow at Mazda. M-Day. Mazda's only one day, once a year sale. M-Day. Your chance to save. Feel the power of M-Day. Tomorrow only at your nearest Mazda dealer.
The Monopoly game at Macca's is bigger than ever, with amazing prizes like a Suzuki Swift or Ignis, Caltex fuel for a year, or a Europe car rental. Come in today and play.
At Terry White Chemmart, great deals are alive and well, like a selected range of Oral-B products at 50% off, plus Claritine, hay fever and allergic 60 tablets for just $24.99. Offer ends 26th of September. Terry White Chemmart, helping to keep you alive and well.
Pack up the family and head to the Palmerston Game Fishing Club's 30th Humminbird Corroboree Park Challenge. From the 13th to the 15th of October, come fish the infamous Corroboree Billabong for your chance at glory. Plus, all registered competitors enjoy free camping at the Corroboree Park Tavern. Once off the waters, enjoy live music, casting challenges, movies under the stars for the little tackers, and thousands in cash and prizes up for grabs. Registration forms available online for the 30th Humminbird Corroboree Park Challenge.
what you waiting for. Oh, my eyes are open wider than the whole world. Oh, the sky is open wider than the whole world.
Right now at Nissan, you'll get more for your trade-in. To find out how, visit nissan.com.au/getmore. The 12-day trade-in event ends September 19.
Harvey Norman Furniture and Bedding 3-day sale on now. Get in store now and save on a huge range of bedding and furniture. Loungers, recliners, dining suites, every style, every size. Sofa beds and home office furniture. Mattresses and ensembles from all the big brands. Plus bedroom furniture and heaps of Manchester. Huge reductions on ex-display, slightly marked stock and cancelled orders. Run out prices on discontinued clearance and overstocks. But you better hurry. You've got just 3 days to save. Harvey Norman Furniture and Bedding 3-day sale ends Sunday. In store only. Don't miss out.
North Koreans have celebrated yet another missile test with an extravagant sky show in Pyongyang. There are fears Kim Jong-un will press the button again this weekend when the rogue state marks its founding anniversary. Across the border, violence has erupted in South Korea, locals protesting against the bolstering of US military might. Misinformation over vaccination safety is fueling fears in first-time mums. A new study has found many pregnant women are hesitant to immunise themselves and their babies.
First-time mum Agnieszka Sobodzinska has always believed in the benefits of immunisation. But when pregnant with daughter Maya, the 34-year-old admits a Google search generated some anxiety.
There's a lot of stuff on the internet about vaccinations which you're not sure, if you don't have a medical background, you're not sure whether to believe or not.
Rather than rely on the web, she opted to follow credible medical advice.
Maya's had all her vaccines up to date so far. Absolutely don't regret it.
An Australian-first study by the Murdoch Children's Research Institute has found almost half of first-time mums are hesitant about vaccinations for themselves or their baby, citing safety concerns.
Mothers fear the vaccines now more than the diseases.
The survey of almost 1,000 pregnant women also found more than 50% were not having the influenza shot, and 16% still wrongly believed autism could be caused by vaccines. Anti-vaxxer campaigns are contributing to the confusion, with some even claiming the injections transform people into zombies.
They are brain-damaged victims of the vaccine industry.
I think the anti-vaccination movement can be quite powerful, but I think their voice can easily be counteracted.
Medical experts say immunisation conversations with a GP, midwife or obstetrician should occur early in pregnancy and regularly, and continue throughout your child's life. During pregnancy, women and their partners should be immunised against influenza and whooping cough, and the baby will require a series of vaccinations over time to protect against diseases such as hepatitis B, diphtheria and polio.
Doing a little bit of research in credible websites is always a better idea than going to Dr. Google.
Emily Rice, 9 News.
Former Ironman champion Dean Mercer has been remembered by nearly 2,000 family, friends and fellow competitors on the Gold Coast. The 47-year-old father of 4 died suddenly last month after suffering a heart attack while driving.
He had a heart of gold. His heart gave him so much and allowed him to give so much back. It is ironic, yet somehow fitting, that its stopping has now taken everything.
Dean Mercer was a 5-time state champion and earned a paddle in the Ironman Hall of Fame. Smooth yet stressful is how Prince William today described his son George's first day at school. The Duke told of the young prince's nerves, and there was a none too subtle warning to the paparazzi to keep its distance.
It's one for the mantelpiece. Prince George on his first day of school. A toothy grin, hand in pocket, really cute as can be. But that's certainly a far cry from the boy the world saw a short time later, a very nervous 4-year-old who's now been dubbed His Royal Shyness. He gripped his dad's hand oh so tight, but now Prince William has revealed that the schoolboy wasn't the only one who was on edge.
It was
what other parents having more of an issue with their children, so I was quite pleased I wasn't the one.
Unfortunately, proud mum Kate is still bedridden at home, so she couldn't be there for the milestone as well. When William walked in with his mum Diana for his first day of school 30 years ago, it was a media frenzy. But in a sign of just how much the palace wants to shield George from the spotlight, they avoided the huge waiting scrum out the front with just one camera allowed to film his arrival. While cameras were tolerated for day one, the paparazzi have been warned by the palace to stay away from now on. They want Prince George just to feel like a normal kid when he turns up here for classes. And the school says that the future king, well, he won't be getting any royal treatment as such either.
What his parents would like for him, as any parent would like for their child, is that they have a wonderful, fulfilling and sort of thriving childhood.
Oh, the world knows him as Prince George. Zoom into the name tag on his school bag and that is how his classmates will know him, simply as George Cambridge. In London, Tom Steinford, 9 News.
The shopping centre wars are heating up, with Casuarina today unveiling its new look $8.7 million food court.
We'd always intended to upgrade the food court within about a 1-year time frame of opening the new quarter development, so the timing's about right. And what it is just us continuing to create the best retail offer and experience for customers.
The $400 million Coolalinga Central development opened in May this year, and Palmerston's $300 million Gateway project is set to open in 2 weeks. Henry's back now with all the day's sport, and Henry Parramatta preparing for Mission Impossible.
Jono, it's one of the toughest road trips in footy. We'll have more on that after the break. Plus, the Northern Sharks put in the hard yards to go back-to-back and plot the brothers' downfall. Can the Tigers turn the table on the Cats and deliver a finals upset? And Australia levels the series in Bangladesh, but why is skipper Steve Smith still not happy?
I've had and I'm having an amazing life, so everyone goes through something.
Olivia.
When you were diagnosed, what is prognosis at that point?
The interview of the year.
How was it to tell Chloe? Was she okay?
Well, that was, yeah, that wasn't easy.
Australia. This is 60 Minutes.
You've had so many battles, Olivia.
Not to be missed.
Of course it's scary. I mean, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't scary, but I intend to be healthy. I'm doing okay.
Yeah, aren't you?
Okay.
Doing great.
Sunday on 9.
Right now at Nissan, you'll get more for your trade-in. To find out how, visit nissan.com.au/getmore. The 12-day trade-in event ends September 19.
At 40 Winks, we know a bad back can ruin a good night's sleep. So we're here to support you with up to 50% off all Certa beds from our back care range. For a limited time only. 40 Winks, we're your back's biggest supporter.
Together, we can all be helping people achieve.
Pack up the family and head to the Palmerston Game Fishing Club's 30th Hummingbird Corroboree Park Challenge. From the 13th to the 15th of October, come fish the infamous Corroboree Billabong for your chance at glory. Plus, all registered competitors enjoy free camping at the Corroboree Park Tavern. Once off the waters, enjoy live music, casting challenges, movies under the stars for the little tackers, and thousands in cash and prizes up for grabs. Registration forms available online for the 30th Hummingbird Corroboree Park Challenge.
Hey Mick, been day tick, what'd you have done?
Logbook service, new tyres, and they fixed my aircon.
Sounds like ATIC do everything.
They're my one-stop mechanical shop.
ATIC Mechanical. Nothing comes close.
Head down to Lizards to watch all the footy finals action live on our big screens. Plus, catch the live radio broadcast with Greg and Ali from Mix from 10 a.m. on AFL Grand Final Day. Lizards, corner of Mitchell and Daly Street.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. Don't wanna be anywhere else. I love this place. The golden fields and the sea. It's calling out to me. It's my home, la la la, we love it. We love it. My heart has found its place.
Tonight's Sports Report is proudly brought to you by Harvey Norman Electrical. Shop with confidence. Shop online and collect from the store.
Parramatta faced the most daunting task in week 1 of the finals, travelling to Melbourne to take on the Storm. And the minor premiers have added incentive to take down the Eels. Skipper Cameron Smith is celebrating an historic milestone.
The Melbourne Storm have been declared unbeatable in this final series, but Parramatta coach Brad Arthur is having none of it.
There'd be no point us going down if we didn't think that, you know, if we play to our best that we can match them.
The Storm are in red-hot form, but as Arthur points out, so are the Eels.
I think we've won 9 of our last 10, so I know we get tagged with being inconsistent, but 9 from 10 is not bad in my eyes, and you know, we're coming up against the best, and if we want to be the best, you've got to beat them.
He even let fans in on the blueprint to take the Storm down.
You can move the ball around and you can take risks or chances, but you know, if you turn the ball over and you're only completing at 60 or 70%, you give yourself no chance at all against these blokes. They won't beat themselves.
Cameron Smith has been honoured with a graffiti mural to celebrate his all-time NRL record 356 match. Arthur and the Eels risk widespread criticism by snubbing the post-match presentation, as they've booked an immediate flight home.
We're coming back after the game, and if we can, if we've got the time to honour Cameron and respect Cameron, we'll stay on the field. If we can't, you know, we'll show our respects other way.
Sharks coach Shane Flanagan turned bus conductor today, imploring fans to travel out of the Shire to the eastern suburbs.
Last year we had 20 buses go out for the grand final qualifier. It'd be lovely if we can get near that total. It does make a difference to the players.
The defending premiers have been waiting for the finals all year, but Flanagan issued a warning to his players.
You know, we've got to make it happen. We just can't sit back and think it's going to happen because we're here now.
In a bonus for Sharks fans, Jack Bird has been declared fit and ready to play. Neil Breen, 9 News.
For the second year in a row, the Northern Sharks have championships on their mind and are confident of securing back-to-back titles. They've had to fight and grind their way through the final series from 4th position, but insist they're up for one more challenge. Grand Final week isn't an unusual fixture for the Northern Sharks. They're hoping to go back-to-back.
To do the back-to-back be a big effort, especially coming from the 4th position.
Half the squad played in the 2016 Premiership. They'll provide experience to the Grand Final rookies tomorrow night.
We've gelled well as a team this year, considering that most of us work away, and it's kind of good how we can just gel and turn up every week.
The Grand Final berth is testament to first-year coach Anthony Castro's ability to motivate the group.
All the boys got to know him through the season, and yeah, you know, we wouldn't have got as far with his guidance, I guess.
He's done fantastic. We couldn't ask more from him.
The Sharks will stress on the fitness of Deborah Cook. The skipper's head is being held together by Staples after being hit with a stray boot last week.
Footy, that's it, all contact sport. But yeah, one more game, so put the body over the line again.
Coming from 4th position, the Sharks have had to play every week of the final series, including a heart-stopping prelim against Palmerston. They insist they've got one more match-winning effort left in them.
So they don't get that week off, so we sort of kind of build a bit of momentum towards the GF come Saturday.
I'm so proud of them, and yeah, can't wait for the weekend, get it on.
Kick-off tomorrow is at 7 p.m. at Rugby Park. The Cats and Tigers' scintillating final is set to draw over 95,000 people to the MCG. Richmond football manager Neil Baum has spoken to Tony Jones ahead of the epic matchup.
Barmy, he must be champing at the bit.
Oh, I can't wait. It's a beautiful night. A little bit of rain earlier, but it looks like it's going to be pretty good. It'll be a great game. Two teams that are in pretty good form. finals footy. What more could you want?
And you've got two of the best players running around at the moment in Dangerfield and, of course, your man Dusty.
Oh, and there's a couple of blokes next to him that aren't too bad either. Selwood and Cochin are pretty good. So, look, it's going to be a terrific challenge between them. I mean, people ask you, do you tag those sort of blokes? Today's footy, you don't tag them per se, but you've got to try and stop those blokes from being really big influences. So it'll be interesting to see how that all pans out.
Much has been made about Richmond's pretty ordinary finals record of late, but the coach was quick to dispel that through the week.
Well, the record is really the past. It's nothing about the future. It's all about the future. We've played pretty well to get to this spot, so we think it's a great opportunity for us, and we just got to stay with it. If we believe in ourselves, we'll do really well.
All right, well, enjoy the night if you can.
Well, I'll try.
Australian captain Steve Smith has put his batsmen on notice heading into this year's Ashes series, describing the team's middle order collapses as not good enough. Nathan Lyon finished with 13 wickets as the Aussies salvaged a draw in their series against Bangladesh. They won the second test by 7 wickets after easily running down the target of 86. And there'll be a new Grand Slam champion at this year's US Open, with Sloane Stephens and Madison Keys to contest the women's final. Stephens rallied late to upset Venus Williams in their semi, while Keys made light work of Coco Vandeweghe. It will be the first All-American decider at Flushing Meadows since Serena beat Venus in 2002. Expect a massive crowd for that one, Jono. Good to see a couple of new faces in the final.
Henry, it is our last news. I can't go without saying, mate, thank you so much for all of your help, your professionalism. You're an outstanding young talent. It's been an absolute blast having you on the set, mate. So thank you and best of luck with your future career, mate. I know you're going to go a long way. So
appreciate it.
Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Bit of a handshake live on air, but it's our final night.
Cheers.
Well done. Good luck. Yeah, it is ahead. We'll have the latest headlines. Plus, you don't need to be running a marathon. The simple everyday activities for older Australians that can stave off chronic disease. A confused driver smashes into a petrol station 4 times, then reverses into a van. And the voice of the late George Michael returns to the airwaves. What do fans think?
This time next year, I'll be able to hear my children say, I love you for the first time.
A mum's precious wish.
Do you crave it? All the time.
And the most dramatic transformation.
This time next year, I will be half my body weight.
You'll have to see to believe. Greatest dreams.
This sleep's definitely saved my life.
Will be conquered. This time next year, Monday, after the block on 9.
NTF, the construction supplies specialists. Jack knows they've changed the game in construction supplies. 2 huge locations, all the big brands. Power tools, safety equipment, fasteners, hand tools. Friendly service from a team that understands construction. Jack made just one stop at NTF, used the one account, saved time and money. NTF, the construction supplies and power tool specialists. Berrima and now Coolalingga.
Better are your local laundry experts. So come in store today to see the range of washers, from top and front load washers to washer and dryer combos. Plus, we can deliver and install your new washer. Better deals every day. That's better.
Drop everything! Spotlight's giant sale is on now. 40% off all ready-to-hang curtains and blinds, plus 30% off all made-to-measure curtains, shears and berry shades. Exclusions apply. Rush into Spotlight now.
Right now at Bedpost Beds R Us, buy any double, queen or king premium sleepy head mattress and save $1,000. Prices from $9.99 and includes free new mattress delivery, free old mattress removal, 10 days only, and only at Bedpost Beds R Us.
This just has to be the ultimate way to experience the Northern Territory's famous barramundi fishing. Your exclusive helicopter flight will reveal the awesome wetlands, landscapes and wildlife that the NT has hidden. Catching a barra is only part of the magnificent experience a Helifish tour provides. You can start planning your tour now with full details on the Helifish website.
Our weather in the top end can be hell on our homes, from monsoons to the baking sun. Home furnishings like blinds and awnings are really put to the test. That's why it pays to buy quality. Dabsco quality. For over 50 years, Dabsco has been Darwin's quality supplier of quality blinds and awnings. So don't fall into the trap of buying cheap, inferior products that will rapidly deteriorate. Buy quality that will last. At Dabsco, we're here today and tomorrow. And tomorrow. And tomorrow.
Toyotathon annual clearance is on right now at Bridge Toyota with unbeatable prices across the range, like Yaris Ascent Hatch Manual from $15,990 drive away and Hilux 4x2 petrol workmate for $23,990 drive away. Or receive a $500 bonus fuel voucher across the entire Kluger, Corolla or RAV4 range. Head to Bridge Toyota today as the Toyotathon annual clearance ends soon.
Bridge Toyota, you're number one.
It's gymnastics like you've never seen before. From the makers of Bring It On.
How do we not know about this sport?
Stick it. Tonight 7:30 on 9 Go.
Returning now to our top stories, results from testing have shown PFAS levels in Catherine's water supply have been as high as double the recommended limits. Mexico has suffered its worst earthquake in more than 30 years. The magnitude 8.4 tremor already claiming at least 5 lives, including 2 children. Fire crews were kept busy today responding to a wildfire at Darwin River, which was contained late this afternoon, but they're still fighting a blaze at Dundee Downs that is coming close to homes. And after a $3 million facelift, the new Shady Camp boat ramp is ready for use. Authorities are expecting a busy weekend. Nearly 2.5 million Australians over the age of 65 are not meeting national standards when it comes to exercise. Activity levels have been slipping for the past few decades, a trend that has health experts concerned.
The proof is in the figures. The older you are, the less likely you are to exercise.
I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm old now, I'm too old to do that.
Everything is so comfortable now. You can do it all from your lounge room instead of getting out there and getting involved.
A recent study reveals seniors are turning their backs on exercise. Levels have dropped over 20 years. A vast majority of people over 65, that's 2.5 million Australians, are not meeting national standards for physical activity.
It's a real worry and concern for us. We know that the over 65 population are the most vulnerable to things like chronic diseases, and that activity levels and exercise are key to preventing those.
We need to up our efforts basically to help people to become more active.
Seniors should do 30 minutes of moderate exercise every day, or at least 5 days a week.
So it might be brisk walking, or it might be swimming, or gardening, for example.
78-year-old Pat Haynes has been doing classes for 8 years through the Active Seniors program, catering to older Australians.
It's a community of like-minded people, and it's kind of enhanced our life in so many ways.
There needs to be more facilities. There needs to be more places that target this population group.
You're never too old to take up physical activity.
While age is no barrier, the lack of education is. Experts say there needs to be more of it so seniors know what programs are available in their neighbourhood. That information can be found on the Active and Healthy website, which is funded by the New South Wales Government. Gabriella Rogers, 9 News.
A 77-year-old man in Germany didn't seem to know whether he was coming or going when he smashed into a service station. Police suspect he not only confused the brake with the accelerator, but got his gears mixed up as well. He went back and forth, causing more than $70,000 damage, finally coming to rest against a large freezer. No one was hurt. A secretive spectacle took place at Cape Canaveral earlier today when a reusable SpaceX rocket blasted off. Tucked on board was a US Air Force drone, a miniature version of the space shuttle that's only about 2 metres high with a wingspan of 4 metres. The space drone is expected to be in orbit for about 8 months, carrying out secret experiments and dispensing small satellites. Fans of George Michael will soon have a fresh new version of one of his hits. A remix of the song Fantasy, first recorded in 1990, is about to be released 8 months after the singer's death.
Baby, I can give you all the loving that your heart desires. If you ain't got time for me, I'll find another fantasy.
Producers say the remix has a new, bouncy feel. Catherine's back now with a detailed look at weather. Catherine, the city will see another cool night.
Jono, it'll be lovely and cool after the break. I'll have all the details.
The battle for grand final glory starts next with a Roosters-Broncos blockbuster. Finals footy live and free on 9. With the ongoing threat of terrorism, we all need to play our part by reporting anything suspicious. If something doesn't add up, speak up by calling the National Security Hotline on 1800 123 400. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Leave tax worries to Kavanagh.
At Peter Kavanagh's, we can meet all your personal and business taxation needs. We know tax and we know the territory. Offices at Palmerston and Casuarina.
G'day. I know we see steel line roofs wherever we fly.
Yep, they're all over Australia.
But why steel line?
Well, they're made from colour-bond steel, so they look great and they'll last. And Steel Line are the roofing experts. Indeed, you could say they... on everything else.
Steel Line GRP, now supplying Enduroframe trusses and walls. For service over and above, see Steel Line GRP.
Ladies and gentlemen, the NT Music Festival and the Beat Foundation are delighted to present the 38th Annual Beat Festival, Magic. This is the major performing arts showcase for Northern Territory schools. Come be captivated with a spectacular show of rock, drama, choirs, dance troupes, orchestra and more. Over 1,000 students from multiple schools performing under one roof. Plus students from Tongling Middle School No. 4 coming from China. 3 nights only at the Darwin Entertainment Centre. Get your tickets now.
Battery World, keep you switched on.
If your car battery ever lets you down, call this number. It won't. 13 17 60. Your local Battery World 24-hour roadside battery assistance. Phone 13 17 60.
Footy Fever at Sky City, your footy finals destination. Join us on Saturdays and Sundays this month and play Cash Fest. Your chance to score a share in $100,000 worth of cash prizes. 10 winners are guaranteed every weekend. So if you want to kick some goals and score some cold hard cash, join the team and play Cash Fest at Sky City, your footy finals destination.
Cocoa Pops and milk, just like a chocolate milkshake, only crunchy.
Right now at Nissan, you'll get more for your trade-in. To find out how, visit nissan.com.au/getmore. The 12-day trade-in event ends September 19.
Anaconda's big brand sale is on now. Save 25 to 40% off all tents and bedding by June, Spinifex and more. Plus 20 to 30% off all outdoor clothing by Columbia and the North Face, plus more.
We take you behind the scenes to see what the Today team really get up to. Plus, Casharoo has a massive $80,000 up for grabs. Next week on Today.
It was a spectacular morning in the city. It dropped to a cool 17 degrees, which is 6 below average. Right now it's 28 degrees. The humidity is 41%. It was a dry day here in Darwin. Just after lunch, the relative humidity was sitting on just 5%, 35 degrees the top. After a low of 11 degrees, the rural area climbed to a top of 36. Lots of warm sunshine around the territory today. 32 in Nhulunbuy. Catherine hit 34 degrees, 29 in Tennant Creek. A possible shower in Perth tomorrow, 12 to 23. Canberra will drop below zero again, while Brizzy will see a beautiful day, 10 to 24. More sunshine for the top end, and it'll stay fine over the weekend. Down south, Alice Springs is looking at 25 degrees, Yulara 28. Bodie's seas will increase during the day to around a metre. East to southeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, turning north to northeasterly 15 to 20 knots in the middle of the day. Bit of movement in the tides tomorrow. High tide just around 7.4 metres. The sun will be up a minute earlier, 6:44. The boys at Fishing and Outdoor World tell us Western Middle Arm are worth a look for a barra, and while you're waiting, try for a snapper. Good reports of dewies around Leaders Creek and the Narrows. Mark Wilson had a great day on the water, landing this 76-centimetre barra. He tells us he finished the day with a barbecue. It sounds pretty good to us, Matt. Enjoy your prize pack. It'll be cool tonight in the rural area, but sunny and hot tomorrow, 37, and a total fire ban will again be in place for the northern fire protection area. Palmerston will be soaked in sunshine, 15 to 36 degrees, and it'll be lovely and cool tonight in the city. Warm tomorrow, heading for a top of 35. It'll stay dry for another few days before winds ease and humidity levels slowly rise early next week. So make the most of these lovely, cool nights while we can, Jono.
Catherine, thank you. Again, another wonderful, fine young journalist. I've really had a pleasure of working with so many of you over the years. So, Catherine, best of luck to you. Best of luck as well to all of our other young journalists who are moving on to other things after Darwin. Now, as you know, this is our last 9 News broadcast from the Darwin studio. So from Monday, you'll notice a change to our presentation style. We're going to broadcast from a new regional hub in Brisbane. Now, we're still going to have local reporters and cameramen on the ground here in Darwin, but the big difference is I'll be in Queensland, alongside my new co-host of 9 News Darwin, Samantha Heathwood, who's going to join us now live from our new set. Sam, welcome to Darwin. This is going to be your first time broadcasting into the NT. You must be as excited as I am to be expanding into a new market.
I am, Jono. It's a really exciting time, but I mean, there's so many changes in our industry right around the globe, and this is part of the changes. And I know that this is a huge thing for Darwin to be accepting a new person into your lounge rooms every night. But rest assured, you will still get all of your international news that you love from our foreign correspondents, and all the national news from all the political reporters and everybody that you know and love. And of course, you'll still have your local news. And Jono, the golden boy of the Northern Territory, I'm so delighted to be able to share the desk with you every night, and I hope that everybody welcomes me into their homes the way that they've welcomed you. It's big shoes to help fill.
Sam, thank you so much, and thank you to you for being so welcoming as well. Big changes for both of us, and I think for our audience it's going to be a great thing. So thank you, and I'll see you in Brisbane on Monday. Thanks, Sam. Finance and a high-powered panel has been selected to run the inquiry into the Commonwealth Bank. Former ACCC Chairman Professor Graham Samuel is one of 3 leading figures from the financial industry. The team is reviewing the CBA's numerous scandals, including allegations of money laundering. And on the markets today, the All Ords closed lower, down almost 14.5 points. Our dollar is doing well too. It's buying 80.91 US cents, 67.14 euro, at above 10,600 Indonesian rupiah. So with that, that's 9 News this Friday. I'm Jonathan Upton from all of us here from the Darwin studios. Goodbye.
This NRL coverage is brought to you by Harvey Norman, Holden, Colorado, Able Finance, Darwin's leading home loan and insurance specialist. Bunnings Warehouse. Enjoy some quality dad time this Father's Day. TIO, car insurance for Territorians. And Macca's new gourmet creations, now available in drive-thru.
Can you feel it? The thunder of ambition. Relentless. You can't falter now. Your team, your club, your fans, your town, they all depend on you. This chance may never come again. You have to stand up.